Very good. Alright, today we are doing the air brake mod for the JG Bar-10. There's several other videos that deal with this mod, but most of them are after the fact, after it's already been done. I've not done the modification yet, so if I screw up, we'll learn together. Now, beforehand, I'm going to take a couple shots at a target that the wind blew sideways, so I no longer have a target, but I'll just shoot at some text on that cardboard box over there, and we'll compare speed and accuracy afterwards. I'm at about 40 yards right now. Now I'm actually having to shoot a little high. Okay, so you see I didn't get a very good grouping there. That just means I need to adjust my sight a little bit, but you see I did some dents there, and our target's over there. In our next video, I'll show you how to make this target in under 3 hours. Should be great. Lots of fun. Okay, well, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take off my scope here so that I don't damage it and it makes it easier to work with. Plus, all this fuzz is on the scope too, which makes things a little harder. We'll just unscrew that. Try not to lose pieces, like that. All right. Make sure our safety's on. Also make sure your magazine is out. There's no BBs in the chamber. There we go. First thing we have to do is we have to separate this dilly from this dilly. So we're going to take our Allen wrench. And take out these two screws right here. Now be careful when you take this out if you haven't glued this piece in here, because it will have a tendency to pop out and then it'll be very difficult to find. It stayed in alright. Just going to set this to the side for now. We won't need that anymore. Now what we need to do is we need to take our cylinder out. So I'm going to pull this little switch here down. It's pretty tough. Just have to work it out a little bit. Okay, so this should slide out. I don't think I have it down far enough yet. You want to be careful not to push too hard so that you don't damage it. There we go. Pop it out. Now this should come right out. There we are. Now we want to take off this little piece here, which it actually just screws out by hand on mine. If you have any trouble, just stick a little screwdriver or something else in there, or maybe your Allen wrench, and try to unscrew it. There we are. And this is the sucker we're concerned with right there. That's the air brake that we're going to be cutting in half. So we're going to pull this out. And we've got our spring guide that came out, our spring, and then our piston. Once again, this part here, what we're going to do is we're going to cut this approximately in half. For that, I'm actually going to use a Dremel. Feel free to use a hacksaw or chainsaw or whatever you have handy. Came off pretty easy. Left a little fuzz there. We should get that cleaned off. Now what's nice about this mod is it doesn't cost you any money unless you screw it up. Alright, and that should be it. We're going to put our spring guide back in. Actually, I'm going to slip this spring on top of it before I put it down so I don't have to try to line it up when it's way down there. So that all sits very nicely. I need to line up. I'm going to let it out just a little bit to make it easier to put our piston on. There we go. And push all that down. Seems to be lined up good. So we're going to put this guy back on. Screw that back on. There we go. Now when you put this back in, you slip it back in, and there's this little piece of metal right here that we're going to have to push down. Actually, not this piece, right inside here. We're going to have to push down when we slip it back inside. I'm just going to use my screwdriver for that. I'm going to push this in here. Push the little piece of metal down with my screwdriver. Yeah, there we go. Nice and easy. Slip it back. Down. Put our switch back up. Went in a lot easier. Still on. Alright, now we're going to reassemble our gun. Alright. Now would also be a good time for me to cover the rest of my barrel with some burlap for my ghillie, but that's quite alright. Go ahead and slip this in. Should pop right in there real easy. We'll take our screws again, put the short screw in front. Our long screw in back. And there we are. And I'm going to go ahead and put my scope back in. And we're going to go shoot. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and shoot and see if it made any difference. Heavier BBs. But it doesn't seem to make a huge difference in the amount of sound that it's making.
Did you adjust your hop up?
I haven't adjusted my hop up.
Hey, we got a hit.
There you go, I actually hit the box, so I think I need to readjust my sight and probably change BB weight. Because my flight does seem to be much more level and faster, but it's just a little more erratic. One more shot. Okay. Alright, you can see we've got our target again on the very few shots I did hit with my poor accuracy. You see we still didn't pierce the box. You can compare, I mean, we've got a similar divot. These actually seem to tear a little more, but it's probably because of the angle of the box. But you got a nice clean divot there. Hey, look, I did hit one within the target. And there you go. So that's the Airbrake mod. Just takes a couple minutes. I don't recommend complete idiots do it, but anyone else should be fine. There's a horse. Don't shoot horses.